Howdy folks, it's Ajo the Hunting Gear Guy. Today I wanted to go over some carbon fiber tripods. I got a couple from Manbily. I was actually going to SHOT Show, so messaged him asking if I could get one of theirs to try out there. And they sent me two. So they sent me kind of a thicker one for a little bit more weight. This one will take rifles and that kind of thing. It's actually got a Picatinny rail bit on there, as well as the Arca, and then they also sent me a smaller, lighter weight one that I also use. So a couple of options there. Maybe first, just to kind of start things off, what did we used to use? Aluminum tripods. Now, I mean, this is an older one that I've got. It's got a smaller head on it. Some of the different things that I like or dislike about this thing. So these older ones, they're still pretty light. It's a pretty lightweight one. It's got pretty easy adjustments on the legs. But the thing that I dislike about some of these older aluminum ones is that they just weren't as stiff. They weren't as stiff, and as for the weight, they weren't as stiff, which you can only really go so far with aluminum. These smaller heads here can't really take as much weight on them. So if you put a rifle on them, they are going to still kind of want to move there. So you need a bigger head for just more contact area, more surface area to grab on there. But as a camera tripod, it was still good. This one in particular has like kind of a quick lock on it with this, but it's not real Arca, so proprietary. Arca rail's kind of the way things are going, right? There's a lot of rifles these days where you can get like just a plain Arca rail on the bottom of it. Just like lots of cameras, right? Lots of camera equipment uses that Arca. So take a look at this small one here for a minute. Now on the carbon fiber ones, at SHOT Show, I saw these things everywhere. I saw these carbon fiber tripods everywhere. They used them commonly at the booths to hold a gun, whether they're showing an optic or the gun itself or whatever. They used a carbon fiber tripod for it because they're nice and stiff and light and easy to set up and whatnot. So and they all pretty much work the same. They've all got these little collets on them that you turn. That'll allow you to pull a section out, turn that collet, that'll pull a section out, turn that collet, that section will come out, etc., right? So some of them will have replaceable feet. This smaller one's just got the rubber feet. That bigger one over there has rubber or spiked feet, depending on what kind of conditions or what kind of surfaces you're going to be on. At SHOT Show, it was all indoors, so I just ran the rubber feet. But you could run spike if you were going to be outside and that kind of thing. So that's extending it and that kind of thing. Typically, what these things are going to have is like a little lock, so you can leave it at this highest position, or if you need it to get lower, you can move that lock out to get a little bit lower, or you can move it to position number 3, which is basically sitting on the ground. I used that lock setting the whole time because I want the height. I want the height out of it. If I'm going to run a tripod, I'm going to want the height, right? But I guess if you really wanted to, you could run it low. I just haven't really found a use for it. This one, so this is a feature that some of these will have. They have a hook on the bottom. That's for weight to anchor it and really pull it down and keep it steady. Which you could run. You could run that if you wanted to. This one, the ball so there's a small ball on here. That's because it's designed for a lighter weight, like a camera or something like that, right? We've got just a quick knob on the side there to loosen the ball and then to retighten it, which if I paid attention, I really should be using my right hand for that. That's the problem here. So you adjust it around and then you retighten it, and then that's going to lock that ball on there, right? This is a panning head, so we see that those numbers on there. That's so you can just loosen this knob here and you get a nice smooth pan. So it's nice and smooth going around there, which for camera work would be nice, right? And then along the top here, we just have a tightened down Arca rail. So there's our Arca pad, there's our Arca rail. It's got a couple of little screw spots in here. That's for stops. So you see those posts on there? Those posts will engage with that to keep it from completely falling off one way or the other, and to keep you from like clamping on not optimally, right? The thing I like about these ones, they aren't quick, but they work for any size Arca. So if you've got Arca, it seems like it's all over the place. Some of them are really big, some of them are really small. This one, because you're using that knob to tighten down and it's not a quick release, any size will do, right? You just stick it in there, put it in there, crank it down, and it'll fit. So I do like that about this one, and this one is pretty lightweight. Now this bigger model that they sent me here, it's got bigger legs, bigger diameter, and way stiffer, way stiffer. Not only in the legs, but like even the bolt hardware on this thing's stiffer. Now I have found, again, I use this on SHOT Show, and I was like constantly moving the legs out, putting them back in. They never loosened. I've got another tripod here, and it does that. It loosens like if you move it back and forth too many times, it self loosens it. It's actually the tripod I've got this camera on right now, just because it's such a short tabletop model. Not such an issue with this one. We've got bigger adjustments here, so we can unlock those collets there and then tighten them back down. Same idea with this one. Now, you are going to see some tripods out there that have like a column that's coming down from the inside here so that they can move up, so they have an adjustable head length here. That isn't going to be as stable, but that is going to be better for some kinds of things. And in fact, one thing that I just forgot to mention here, the other style of tripod that you might want to look into for a camera is they've got one center column and then they go down to the like 3 feet at the bottom. My buddy Kyle ran one of those for SHOT Show. That was lighter, easier to set up, but it wasn't as stable because it just doesn't have the footprint of something like this, right? Imagine these legs going down. Didn't have the footprint of it, but it was a little bit more convenient to set up. This one, like this is made to like hold a rifle, right? We're holding quite a bit more weight with a tripod like this, and that's convenient and inconvenient. So like with a little camera on there, like even the adjustment on here, like it needs quite a bit of pressure to move this thing around. If you got a rifle on there, no problem. You move it around to where you want, and then you tighten it down, and then it's not moving on there, right? This is also that pan head on it, so as long as this one is loose here, we're going to be able to nice and gently glide and pan that thing side to side. And then if we need to, again, adjust our elevation or whatever cant or whatever, we're going to turn that guy there. And you can just lock in there, and then the cant won't move anywhere. Sorry, it won't pan anywhere. This one uses a QD style lever. So this QD lever is what's going to be torquing on that rail. And this one is torquing on Picatinny and Arca. And again, lots of things change with both of them. It's actually got an Allen key built into it right there to adjust this quick release lever, which is going to be handy if your stuff is different, and it is going to be different, right? Get out of there, you. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's our little Allen key. So that's just stick it in here, loosen it or tighten it as it were, test it out, and then get it to the right tightness for whatever you're running, right? So if you're running a pick rail and maybe your stuff's not quite the same width as normal stuff is, you might have to adjust it. Most people are just going to make their adjustments to whatever they're going to run on here, and then that's going to be good enough, right? Other things you could run in here. So I did mention there's that pick rail. It's got the blocks on there, which is going to be nice for keeping it from coming off under recoil. The idea here is that you can run these tripods and you can shoot off of them, right? A lot of guys are using this in PRS matches, and it's some people are running it while hunting. Why would you run something like this while hunting? Well, imagine you're on a cut line or something like that, and sitting down, you can't get a good view. You could just run one of these. This basically becomes like the tree that you're going to rest your rifle on, right? And a little bit better than a tree, I guess, because you can pan side to side and whatever, that kind of thing. But this becomes your rest for hunting and that kind of thing. So it is nice from that perspective. It does give you like a nice solid feel. Am I going to do it? Maybe, because like not only can you use this while you're standing, you can use this while you're sitting, right? Because this has enough leg room and that kind of thing that I could set this up while I'm sitting and then go hands free, have the rifle pointed in the direction where I think the deer are going to come out, go hands free on it. That does sound kind of neat. That does sound like something that would be nice to do when you're hunting a cut line, or I mean, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't have to be a cut line. Somewhere where you think the deer is going to come out, and then just have that handy and point it at the deer. Yeah, that sounds good. And because of the steadiness of this thing, it can hold a rifle. So, food for thought. In terms of like whether this is a right fit for you or not, they make these things in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. So you're going to see different thicknesses of carbon fiber legs. That's going to change what kind of weight it can hold. And then you're going to see different size ball heads on them or lack of ball heads. Different clamp methods. So this one's got a dial on the side. Some of them will have like a quick clamp on it. Some of them may have ARCA, or they might just go straight to pick. It's really going to be all over the place. So depending on what you need is just going to depend on what you get. I think like the price points on these things are coming down as well. So whereas in the past, like a lot of the carbon fiber stuff used to be, $800,000 for tripods. Now you're seeing it for right around $300 to $400, which is quite a bit less for something that, opens up some new opportunities when you're hunting or PRS shooting or whatever. So kind of interesting. Take a look. Thanks for watching.